महादानी पोदार सुतों ने इसको धन में दिलवाया। महादानी पोदार सुतों ने इसको धन में दिलवाया। महाराष्ट्र में इस बारे में पोदार घराना मशहूर है। महाराष्ट्र में इस बारे में पोदार घराना मशहूर है। शिक्षा केंद्रों को हमेशा प्रोत्साहित ये करता है। शिक्षा केंद्रों को हमेशा प्रोत्साहित ये करता है। बम्बई शहर की शान है पोदार महाविद्यालय। महाराष्ट्र का भूषण है पोदार महाविद्यालय। मंडली आगे बढ़ी पूरी जिम्मेदारी लेकर इसी कार्य में मगन हुई।
A very good evening to everyone. I am Dr. Vrishali Karneri, a faculty at R.A. Podar College of Commerce and Economics with Empowered Autonomous. I would like to welcome you all for the 4th edition of Principal Gopal Purushottam Palekar Memorial Annual Lecture Series. At Podar, no program begins without taking the blessings of the Almighty. For the same, I will request Ameya to sing the invocation song.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Ameya.
Yeah. जय शारदे वागीश्वरी, जय शारदे वागीश्वरी, विधि कन्यके विद्याधरी, वागीश्वरी वागीश्वरी, जय शारदे वागीश्वरी। ज्योत्स्ने परी कांति तुझी, ज्योत्स्ने परी कांति तुझे, मुखरम्य शारद चंद्रमा, ज्योत्स्ने परी कांति तुझे, मुखरम्य शारद चंद्रमा, उजळे तुझा हास्यातुनी, उजळे तुझा हास्यातुनी, चारी युगाची पौर्णिमा, तुझिया कृपेचे चांदणे, तुझिया कृपेचे चांदणे, नितवर्षु दे अमुचा शिरी, नितवर्षु दे अमुचा शिरी, वागीश्वरी, जय शारदे वागीश्वरी। फिरता तुझी वीणेवरी, फिरता तुझी चतुरा कलामय अंगुली, चतुरा कलामय अंगुली, संगीत जन्माये नवे, संगीत जन्माये नवे, जडता मतीची भंगली, उन्मेष कल्पतरुवरी, उन्मेष कल्पतरुवरी, बहरून आल्या मंजिरी, बहरून आल्या मंजिरी, वागीश्वरी जय शारदे वागीश्वरी.
Thank you, Ameya, for this beautiful rendition. Thank you so much. Before we begin the program, let me welcome our speaker of the day, our own alumnus, respected Shri M.V. Ramanarayan sir. We also have with us Honorable Chairman, Managing Council, Shikshan Prasarak Mandali Pune, Advocate Shri S.K. Jain sir, Member, Managing Council, Shikshan Prasarak Mandali Pune, and Chairperson, College Development Committee of R.A. Podar College of Commerce and Economics, Shri Sunil Joshi sir, Principal Palekar sir's daughter, Mrs. Archana Kamath Palekar and her family, and Mrs. Swati Saraf madam and her family. It is such an honor to have you all with us, sir and madam. I will also like to welcome all the audience members, which includes many of our alumni, our staff and our students. Thank you very much for your support. For the alumni present amongst the audience, I don't think I need to introduce Principal Palekar sir, but I will like to share some information about Palekar sir for the benefit of the current students. Principal Palekar sir started his journey as a clerk in Podar College office, and after a long association of 39 years, retired as principal in 1981 from Podar College. He started PhD Center in Podar and guided as many as 14 students. He also became a life member of SP Mandali Pune. On his birth centenary celebration on 27th October 2020, many of his students and staff expressed a desire that Podar should do something every year on this day in the loving memory of Principal Palekar. Our principal, Dr. Mrs. Shobhana Vasudevan, recommended that we can have an annual lecture series which will be an excellent intellectual tribute to Sir. With immense pleasure, let me welcome each one of you again for the 4th edition of Principal G.P. Palekar Memorial Annual Lecture. I will request Dhananjay to play the video about Palekar sir.
The path of a righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. But the path of this righteous man was once paved with hard work, sincerity, and determination. It was on 27th October in the year 1920 that the world would first see the ray of sunshine that was G.P. Palekar. Exhibiting signs of intelligence at a very young age, he acquired the first place in his district in the Grade 4 scholarship examination in 1929 at just 10 years of age. But this was merely the beginning of a very long and far-reaching ladder of success that Sir G.P. Palekar would climb in his lifetime, garnering him the position of principal of R.A. Podar College at its end.
Hats off to him for his rising from an ordinary position of clerk to the highest position of principal on merits and other good qualities at the same college.
त्यांच्या साध्या सरळ प्रेमळ स्वभावाचा माझ्यावर खूप प्रभाव पडला. अकाउंट्स योग्य तऱ्हेने हाताळणे, प्रामाणिक राहणे याचे चांगले संस्कार त्यांनी आम्हाला दिले. पुढे कॉलेजच्या अकाउंटंटचे पद मी 12 वर्ष सांभाळले तेव्हा मला या संस्काराचा खूपच उपयोग झाला. पुस्तकी शिक्षणाच्या बरोबरीने ऑफिसचे कामकाज काय असते व ते कसे करायचे याचा श्री गणेशा त्यांनीच करून घेतला. BCom झाल्यावर या अर्धवेळ नोकरीच्या जागी पूर्णवेळ नोकरी करायची संधीसुद्धा त्यांनीच मला दिली.
Mr. Palekar's first contact with what would become the college of his career was back in 1941 when he joined it as an accounts associate. Just 4 years later, he would go on to enroll as a first-year commerce student at Podar. Sir G.P. Palekar had a lively and vivacious personality. This, combined with his intellect, earned him the honor of being awarded the Principal Nararkar Efficiency Trophy for being the best student of the academic year when he graduated his BCom in 1949. Just 1 year after this, he joined R.A. Podar as a lecturer while pursuing his MCom alongside. Professor Palekar completed his Masters in Commerce in 1952, 2 years before he would be appointed as a professor in the college. Finally, in 1963, he became the esteemed principal of the college after gaining experience as vice principal for 6 years since 1957.
A very simple, honest and a humble person. We could approach him anytime for any problem or any issue. A very charming personality and a very soft-spoken person. He used to encourage us to do very well in our academics, but also in the extra co-curricular activities.
For him, the college was more than just a place to learn. It was a place where students' character and personalities were developed and prepared for their future lives. He gave all students the opportunity to demonstrate their skills and abilities, whether it was through sports, debates, music, organizing various events, social service, developing literary skills in various languages, and so on. It is no coincidence that the college excelled in the majority of areas during the time period. He was firm and disciplined in his actions, but he was also compassionate and forgiving. Along with being a great principal, Sir G.P. Palekar was also a responsible family man. His affection for his wife and children knew no bounds. His wife served as a constant pillar of support and motivation throughout their life. He even inspired one of his daughters to take up the teaching profession, following in his footsteps.
He shall always be remembered for his simplicity, humble nature, and the best administrative and leadership qualities.
Thus, Principal G.P. Palekar took the college to new heights. He touched the heart and soul of every person he came across and guided them towards a better future. His spirit will forever be alive through us, the students, who are his legacy. He was a person whose time on earth brought all the joy and happiness to others. This radiant personality will stay forever in our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhananjay. Now I would like to request our ever supporting principal, Dr. Mrs. Shobhana Vasudevan Madam, to take over the session.
Thank you, Vrishali. It's indeed a pleasure to be on this platform. And with technology, we are able to connect with people, not only in India and from abroad too. And it is my pleasure that we are there to remember a person who deserved to be a role model to most of us. I think especially to me, under the current principalship role that I play, nobody else can be more a role model for me. And I think this is the tribute that I would like to give on this day. To begin with, let me request our dear, esteemed, all supportive, encouraging chairperson of SP Mandali to speak a few words to commence this program, followed which I will request Mr. Joshi sir to give some best wishes so that I can hand over my own thought process before we invite our speaker for the day. Sir, over to you. Jain sir.
Honorable Sri M.V. Ram Narayan sir, my colleagues Sunil Joshi ji, Honorable Principal Shobna Vasudevan ji, and all other esteemed speakers, panelists, alumni of the great college, Podar College. Let me tell you one thing, that when I came first time in 2016 to the premises or campus of Podar College, the aura with which I came across, I thought that there must be few colleges of this kind in the premises or in the area of the Mumbai University, which must be having an atmosphere for the students to read and develop in all fields of life and to go ahead one after other. As everybody knows that the Podar College is one of the best college not only in the Mumbai University, not only in Maharashtra, but it is an autonomous college, empowered autonomous college with all other privileges as recognized by University Grant Commissions, AICT, Mumbai University, and the credit goes to our Principal Shobna Vasudevan and her team. However, I will say that it is not a unique only because our present team is good, but I will say that they are following the legacy of Principal Palekar sir and other great educationalists who has occupied the post of principal and other faculties who has led the team to give the best educations with best practice to the students of this Podar College. I have gone through certain informations about Ram Narayan sir, which will show that how Principal Palekar or the atmosphere and campus of Podar College have developed and given educationalists to the society or the nation in particular. What I can find that Ram Narayan sir, only he was not a simpliciter CA, but he was an entrepreneur. He was successful in industry, and again he took up his duty to the educations to the society, and he joined the social education society and discharging his duty to lead the school, the privileged students and unprivileged students both, and he is a guiding force to the society from the place where he is serving as a vice chairman and in his own school with 1,000 students of the CBSE. Sir, with these few things, I will say that Dr. Palekar, Principal Palekar, see the things, his greatness, that a person joining the institute as a clerk and occupying the highest post will show that what excellent qualities he must be having. I am happy that his two daughters, Archana and Swati, have also joined and helping the college to maintain the legacy and memory of Principal Palekar sir. Palekar sir is concerned because when I'm visiting the college as and when required, the way the faculty is dedicated, the way the principal is giving time, the way the principal is joining various academic activities, even on occasions she is invited by foreign universities for lectures. She has been a member of the peer team of the NEC and other parts, and or other faculty members. They have established the norms. They are the icon. And if in Bombay, when I find that the largest number of applications are received within the area of the Bombay University is the Podar College. Sir, I'm privileged. I feel that I have my own punya so that I got the opportunity to be associated with the Podar College. I have gone through the Podar Geet. I have gone through the Saraswati Vandana, which has been greatly, which will inspire us. Now, these lectures will help not only the alumni, but the students to shape themselves from all angles. It was said that in culture, in drama, in sports, everywhere he has participated. So we can say that he was an all-rounder academician because he must be giving importance to the sports and cultural and other parts because that is one of the best quality to become a successful as an academician. I wish that by having this lecture series, commencing this and continuing 4 years together, we all, including myself, will be benefited with the thoughts, with the speech of the great panelist or chief speaker of the day, and as it can be said that there is no doubt that we all are always eager that when this 27th of October come and we get opportunity to hear someone who are influenced, impressed by Sri Palekar sir, and therefore I say that Podar College and Shikshan Prasarak Mandali feels it a pride that he is associated with us, and I feel individually as a matter of pride that I am having an opportunity to be associated with this. My colleague, Dr. Sri Sunil Joshi, whenever I find that he takes interest and he is giving more time than me, he is also a guiding force of the college, and our principal ma'am is always there. I'm feeling it little bit that she will be completing her tenure by end of this year, but as she has taken the legacy of Principal Palekar, she will always remain associated with the college in one form or other. I believe that nobody retires. And all the alumni of this college and students and faculty who are with me, they will in one voice, as and when the time will come, will say that technically, as per the provisions in the law or rules, she may have to retire, but she will never retire, because if after 40 years also, Principal Palekar is in our heart and he is our guiding force, then I feel that for another 10 to 15 years, Shobna Vasudevan will follow the legacy of Principal Palekar, always be a guiding force along with even faculties who are going to retire. But I always say that the word retire is nothing but, it can't say that you have stopped functioning, but you have to, whenever you will keep the image or photo or the aura of Principal Palekar, you will feel that you will never retire and you will continue in this education. With these few words, again, by giving thanks to the principal and his team, I'm stopping myself because we are eager to hear Sri Ram Narayanan sir, and not to me, who has very little to do with the faculty or educationalists. Only by system I am a chairman, but I also feel that I have to hear him as per my opportunity and as it is available. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for the beautiful words. You have missed one thing, sir. It is Shikshan Prasarak Mandali, which has taken the liberty. One can rise from clerk to the post of principal.
Yes.
I think the Mandali also right now, I can feel the kind of support and encouragement our Shikshan Prasarak Mandali has been giving. And I have to really thank for this wonderful words that you have spoken, because it speaks about our Mandali, the parent body, who has been giving a lot of liberty, freedom, and to have our own way of thinking. And that is how the colleges and institutions prosper. The great share of the prosperity and the success goes to you, sir, as a guiding force, as a chairman of managing council. As I know you personally, I have to say this in this August audience. Over to Sunil Joshi, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, Jain sir, Shobana madam, CA Ram Narayan ji, who's a chief speaker today. Jain sir has put it very perfectly about Podar College, legacy, and SP Mandali. Jain sir's contribution, not only in law but in education, is immense. He never mentions it, but I think this time someone should talk about it. And I'm just his representative in college. SP Mandali's chairman gives complete guidance, freedom to everyone, and we have to work under his guidance. And whatever is happening in Podar is definitely support of chairman, vice chairman, Shobana madam. I'm sure everyone is waiting for Mr. Ram Narayan to speak. We attended earlier such lectures, and I'm sure this is also going to be a very special one, and look forward to it. And all the best to all students. Let's listen to the eminent speaker. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Joshi sir. And maybe I will take few minutes before we hand over the mic to Mr. C.A. Ramnarayan ji. The college has prospered, no doubt about it. But this particular platform, I would like to make a presentation that we have really grown, empowered autonomous status, and we have now a recognized institution under All India Council of Technical Education for conducting BMS program and BBA program. In all, we have got 6 undergraduate program, 5 postgraduate program, 3 PhD program. And recently, a feather in the cap, again, I dedicate to the founders and the current council members that the college has been recognized by the Institute of Actuaries of India, and we are going to get 7 papers exemption from the kind of courses that we conduct, as we have meticulously mapped the courses that are conducted in Podar with the Institute of Actuaries of India, which is going to be something unique, which only Podar has got achieved as an undergraduate college, and no other college across the country has been given this distinction. Again, this is all going to be academics. In this year, the sports achievements have been exceedingly good. Culturally, we have been getting the Youth Festival trophy year after year. Sir, as Jain sir rightly pointed out, it is the ground, the background, basement, and the legacy. And you just cannot settle down for anything that is less than best. That is the track record of R.A. Podar College. Alumni like Ram Narayan sir and other speakers in the earlier 3 edition, the Podar Ratna awardees, whenever we look at them, they are the one who have made the kind of a feeling that we never ever settle for something less perfect, less good, or less important. The benchmarks have been very high, set by the earlier principals and the current Mandali and the alumni, and our children definitely are working to breach the benchmark year after year so that new benchmarks are created. I have to say, as a principal, at this proud point of time, people want to imitate Podar College right from the standard operating procedure for commencing autonomous status, for anything and everything that is going to be new, introduction of NEP, whatever they look forward is to look forward from Podar. I think that is what the great tribute to the founders that I can lay down today. But again, I will say it's because of legacy, it's because of the great founding stone and the basement that has been laid and the legacy. By praying to God that this legacy continues and the college is going to be the best among the best across the country and all over the world. With the simple prayers to Professor Palekar, I complete my introduction to the alumni and others who may not be knowing about the progress in the last 1 year. And over to Vrishali Madam to conduct the program. Thank you very much, Jain sir. Thank you very much, Joshi sir, for sparing your time amidst your schedule. And on a Sunday, I think I remain indebted to both of you forever. Thank you very much. Over to you, Vrishali.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jain sir, Joshi sir, and Shobhana ma'am, for your ever encouraging, motivating, and enthusiastic remarks, and also enlightening the audience about the recent developments in the college. The speaker for the day is our own alumnus, Shri M.V. Ramanarayan sir, and I consider myself really privileged for getting an opportunity to introduce sir. Shri M.V. Narayan sir is an alumnus of SIES school and completed his graduation in commerce from R.A. Podar College in June 1974. Thereafter, he completed his chartered accountancy in November 1977, securing the 22nd All India rank. After 5 years of Union Carbide India, in 1982, he co-founded Spectrum Corporate Services with Shri S. Ramanujam, another alumnus from Podar from 69 batch. Spectrum later metamorphosed into what is today Link in Time India Private Limited, India's leading share registry company. After a successful career of over 42 years, he retired from full-time professional engagements in October 2019. Ram Narayan sir joined the Managing Council of the South Indian Education Society, that is SIES, in 2014 and is currently the Vice President of the Society. He is also the chairperson of Puttukod Kendra of the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, situated in village Puttukod, Manapra, Palakkad district in Kerala, which runs a CBSE recognized school with over 1,000 students. Besides, he is also on the board of Jana Kalyan Sevashram, which runs an ashram for senior citizens and the disadvantaged children in Panvel. His another interests include Vedic chanting, old Hindi film music, dramatics, and travel. We are happy to have such a dynamic person with diversified interest who is going to enlighten us on the topic. It is easy to be ethical and practice ethical behavior, learning from the life of Principal Palekar. Over to you, sir. May I please request you to address this August gathering?
Thank you, Vrishali ji, for those kind words. Very good evening to Advocate Sri Sonlal Jain ji, Chairman of the Section Prasarak Mandali, Sri Sunil Joshi ji, Managing Council Member and Chairperson of the CDC of the Podar College, Principal Dr. Shobhana Vasudevan ji, yourself, Srimati Vishali ji, the Podar College faculty and non-teaching family, the Podar alumni who are present today, many of whom I count as my very dear friends, the family members of the late Principal G.P. Palekar ji, Archana ji and Swati ji, our dear students, other invitees who are present today on this online meeting. A good evening to all. Before I commence this speech, let me pray homage to Palekar ji with our traditional prayer. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sachat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahe, Tejasvina Vadida Mastumam Vidvishavahe. When my good friend from the 1974 batch, G. Ramakrishnan, universally known as Jira, who was the only first class in our batch and the university topper in that momentous year of 1974, he suggested my name to Vrishali ji and Shobhana ji, and they then requested me to deliver this lecture. My first reaction was, how on earth was I qualified for this daunting task? It took me some time to think over this before accepting. Well, I'm sure that there are much better qualified people from the Podar alumni universe. I'm fortunate to be before you today, only due to the utmost respect and admiration I have for our late Principal Palekar ji. Our beloved alma mater, Podar College and Palekar sir, have immensely contributed to what I am today. And I'm sure that is true also for many of us listening in today. Principal G.P. Palekar sir, as many of you know or heard of, was more than an academician and administrator. He was a very simple human being, a person of integrity, humility personified, a visionary who helped shape the destiny of many people whose lives he touched, and a caring educator who believed in equal education for all. All qualities which underpin the topic given to me today. It is easy to be ethical and practice ethical behavior. Palekar sir embodied ethical leadership and social responsibility. At the cost of repetition from my first post for the first memorial lecture, let me recall those halcyon days of Podar, when sir was the principal. My friends and ex-students from those times would agree that Podar of the 1960s and 70s had that unique, laid-back, yet activity-bubbling air about it. The faculty-student relationship was easygoing and collaborative. And much of the credit for creating and sustaining this culture should go to Sri Palekar. Apart from academics, sports, dramatics, literary circles, debates, music, and arts all thrived under his principalship. And if Podar today occupies pride of place in our metropolis in all these fields, Palekar sir was instrumental in setting this foundational landscape. I vividly recall my first meeting with sir It was when I was still in school in SIES Matunga in my 9th standard. The year was 1967. My elder brother, the late Sri M.V. Devaraj, had passed out of Podar in 1964. In 1963-64, Devaraj, who was a polio victim and had to use crutches throughout his life, in 1963-64 he was the recipient of the Wellinger Trophy for Best Student. And Palekar sir knew him very well. In fact, he arranged for him to get a post-graduate job with the Bank of Baroda in Chandavarkar Road branch. But Devaraj wanted to pursue his CA, and in July 1967, when he passed his CA final exam, securing the 9th All India rank, Palekar sir visited our humble abode in Matunga to congratulate him and express his happiness. It was a gracious gesture on the part of the principal of the college to personally take the trouble of coming to the house of an ex-student, which left an indelible impression on my young mind. And it was precisely at that point that I decided that I too would join Podar. What an example of genuine ethical behavior. Simple in itself, but tremendous in its impact. I duly joined Podar in June 1970. Even before the mark sheet had come to my hand, I was admitted to the college and made many friends from both my batch as well as from seniors and juniors. The commonality of interests in college included the English language, dramatics, old Hindi film songs, sports activities, and a love of numbers. Some of these friendships blossomed into professional partnerships, while others have continued till today in our enduring pursuit of other interests which I listed now. Even now, I can easily count up to 30 plus Podarites from that era as my close friend circle, and we meet regularly. As secretary of the Tamil Literary Circle, TLC as it was known, in 1972-73, I had to get Palekar sir's approval on various issues. And every time I went to his cabin in the first floor corner, I was always treated with his natural, innate courtesy and graciousness. By his demeanor, he taught me, and likewise all the people who interacted with him, practical lessons in human interaction and ethical behavior. The earlier batch of Tamil students who started TLC, after passing out, continued to pursue their talent in theatre and formed the Amateur Dramatic Club, ADC. Sir not only made available the college rooms, halls, etc., including the ladies' common room, for rehearsals, but also steered ADC during the initial 3-4 years as president of the club. Dutifully, he attended many of our shows in Shanmukanand and Podar Hall, and though he did not understand Tamil, would sit through our shows, sometimes with Mrs. Palekar, as his busy schedule would permit him. Another object lesson in leadership with ethical behavior. Let me now attempt to explore today's subject in some detail. It's easy to be ethical and practice ethical behavior. At first glance, it seems a very idealistic statement, especially in today's VUCA, VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. In fact, many of you would be tempted to say it is anything but easy. But if you think deeper and look closer, we will find that ethical living is not at all burdensome and difficult. On the contrary, it is simple and intrinsic to our nature as human beings, as it was to the late Palekar sir. What does it mean to be ethical? Let's start with the basics. What is ethics? At its core, ethics is about understanding the difference between right and wrong and choosing to do the right thing, even when no one is watching. Like waiting at the red light, even if there is no cop around. It involves fairness, honesty, integrity, and accountability. Integrity in particular is binary. It is either there or not there. It is not something that we can practice most of the time. It is not like our marks in an exam. 95% is very eminently acceptable. But you cannot be a person of integrity 95% or even 99% of the time. You are either a person of integrity full time or you are not. One dishonest act, one unfair decision can undermine a lifetime of good work. And the same applies to ethics and ethical behavior. Practicing ethical behavior need not be complicated. Often it is about making small daily choices that reflect honesty, fairness, and kindness. Many times in this practice, there are conflicts, both within and outside of us. Ethical conflicts in life are like gulab jamuns. They are tempting, and we feel like gobbling up 6 in one go. But eating in moderation or avoiding them entirely is what keeps you healthier in both body and mind. Similarly, sticking to your principles, no matter how trivial the situation may seem, is what defines your integrity. Trust me, your future self will thank you for it. In life, especially in today's Instagram world, everyone is watching, even when you think they aren't. One small ethical slip can have unintended consequences. Being firm in your choices, even when tempted, keeps your integrity intact. Plus, you get the bonus of not having to justify your choices to your online followers. Another ethical choice is about being truthful. Sometimes, always saying the truth is equated with practicing honesty and acting ethically. So, is speaking the truth, even if it is brutal for those at the receiving end, justified? There is no easy answer to this. But our ancient texts, the Manusmriti says, Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat satyam apriyama, priyam cha nanrudam bruyat, yesha dharma sanadana. Sorry to slip into Sanskrit, but it says, speak the truth that is pleasant. Do not speak the unpleasant truth. Speak not the pleasant untruth. That is Sanatana Dharma. So, there is inbuilt conflict in this. My interpretation is that being ethical means we should always be mindful about how our action impact others and should take care that the outcome of our ethical behavior is always positive and beneficial in its impact. So my view is that sometimes one should avoid uttering the unpleasant truth if it can lead to very negative consequences. Here again, Palekar's actions come into play. He knew who bunked his classes and who attended, but he never imposed his authority to ensure lecture attendance. He left the choice to the students. Smilingly, he would tell some of these absentee students, you can guess who they are, but he would say, but I have never seen you in class. No harsh words, no reprimands, but the unpleasant truth mentioned in a non-hurtful way. A gentleman to his fingertips, always soft-spoken, Sir wielded his authority by his stature alone and never by a loud word or a harsh action. Another long-lasting lesson in ethical behavior. The challenges we face. Today, both students and faculty find themselves navigating a world filled with challenges to ethical behavior. The modern world, driven by uncapped capitalism and rapid technological changes, tempts us to cut corners and compromise on our values. We are living in a time when consumption has become a measure of success. As our lifestyle expectations increase, we feel pressured to pursue wealth and material comforts, often at the expense of our happiness, health, and ethics. This endless pursuit leads us to ask a fundamental question. What truly constitutes happiness? Is it more possessions? Or is it simplicity and contentment with what we already have? Modern psychology echoes the ancient wisdom here. True happiness comes from aligning our actions with our values, from leading a life of purpose, and from making meaningful contributions to society. Here again, that oft quoted verse from the Bhagavad Gita guides us. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You have a right to perform your duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. This shloka reminds us to focus on doing the right thing rather than being overly concerned with the outcome. When we act ethically with integrity, the results, whether material or personal, will follow. Here again, the example of Palekar sir comes to the fore. After he quit the post of principalship in 1975, he did not retire. He continued as a professor in Podar till 1981 under the newly appointed Principal P.J. Joshi. What a lesson in Nishkama Karma, pursuing your passion regardless of place or position or outcome. What an example of inspiring humility. Navigating ethical conflicts in daily life. It's said that character is tested not in moments of comfort, but in moments of challenge. Many of you, whether as students or faculty, face daily ethical conflicts that are not always black and white. For students, it could be something as small as deciding whether to help a friend during an exam or cover him or her up for some other dishonest act. For a faculty, it could be whether to award extra undeserved marks to a student so as to bolster college academic performance, or whether to plagiarize for a research paper. How you behave ethically in such situations comes from clarity of conscience. When you consistently remind yourself that short-term gains achieved through unethical means are always outweighed by the long-term bad consequences, you make your life simpler. You remove the need to justify your actions to yourself or to others. Ethics, much like other good habits, is about repetition. The more often you make ethical choices, the more natural you behave ethically. When your moral compass points true north, you do not have to rely on external validation. You will find peace in your decisions, knowing that you have acted with integrity, fairness, and truth. I will now come to what is ethical consumption and lifestyle choices. As we reflect on ethics in a world of excess, it is important to address how our consumption patterns reflect our values. In today's fast-paced, consumer-driven society, it is easy to get caught up in the race to acquire more, whether it is the latest gadgets, cars, clothes, or experiences. But does having more make us happier? It is universally accepted that the more you have does not necessarily equate to more happiness. Ask any billionaire or their spouse, you are bound to get the same answer. Why? You yourself would have experienced this in your daily lives. The moment your shopping is over or your craving is satisfied, the fizz seems to die out. Again, to quote from the Gita, Yuktahara viharasya, yuktas cheshtasya karmasu, yuktas swapna vabodasya, yogo bhavati dukkaha. Which means that the ethical thing to do is to practice balanced living. Whether it is eating, recreation, work, sleep, practicing yoga and balance mitigates all sorrows. Ethical consumption is about being mindful of the impact of our choices on the environment, society, and even on our own well-being. It is not about rejecting material comforts, but about understanding that contentment comes from within, not from accumulating more things. For instance, when we buy a brand, do we ask these questions of ourselves? Is it contributing to environmental degradation? Does it encourage unfair labor practice? Is it exploitative of the original producers? The ethical choice would be to support brands that prioritize sustainability, fair trade, and quality over quantity. This is equally true for our daily decisions, choosing to reduce waste, opting for eco-friendly products, or simply embracing a minimalist mindset. By consuming responsibly, we are not just making a statement about our personal values, we are also contributing to a larger ethical global economy. Palekar sir was a living embodiment of simplicity in dress, courtesy, eating habits, etc., and not at all caring for the trappings of the high office he held. And this ethical behavior was acknowledged by all. He was perhaps the only Bombay University recognized guide for PhD students who himself did not have a doctorate. The ethical use of technology. Let's not talk about technology. Everybody is talking about it. Today, the students, faculty, and the rest of us in the academic world are navigating an environment where digital tools are integral to both learning and teaching. While these tools open up new possibilities, they also come with ethical challenges. Emerging technologies like AI and quantum computing can widen the digital divide if they are not made accessible to all. India is perhaps one country where during the last decade or so, digital technology use has benefited the bottommost layer of the pyramid. But will this continue? Or will AI threaten the livelihoods of common people? This profound question is quintessentially ethical. For example, how do we ensure that AI systems are fair and free from bias? How do we safeguard privacy in a world that is increasingly driven by data? How do we protect existing jobs or create new jobs for those displaced? These are not just questions for tech developers and policymakers. They are ethical issues for each of us as users and contributors to this technological ecosystem. For students, the ease of information or ease of access to information can also lead to ethical crossroads. Plagiarism, misinformation, and even the casual disregard for the privacy of others on social media are issues that require ethical awareness. Faculty, on the other hand, must grapple with the responsibility of ensuring that students are not just digitally literate, but also ethically informed when navigating the digital world. I have to again look the magnificent Bhagavad Gita, which exhorts us, let a man be lifted up by his own self. Let him not lower himself, for he himself is his friend and he himself is his enemy. In the context of modern technology, this means using digital tools to uplift, not exploit. It is our ethical responsibility to demand fairness in digital policies, access, and innovation. We must strive to ensure that technology benefits all of society and not just a privileged few. Palekar sir was acutely aware of the benefits divide, and this awareness was the reason behind his initiative to educate the Adivasi children of Burhanpur village. Bridging generational gaps. Generational shifts are inevitable. What one generation holds dear, the next may challenge or redefine. We cannot be judgmental about this. It is neither good nor bad. It is simply the nature of societal progress. But here is where ethics come in. We need to maintain an ethical thread that runs through generations, one that allows for change while holding on to the principles of integrity, fairness, and mutual respect. As faculty members, it's important to understand that the youth of today have a different outlook on life compared to previous generations. Their values are shaped by the digital age, by a world that is increasingly interconnected. But at the core, students like all of us seek meaning, purpose, and fairness. For students, it's equally important to respect the wisdom that comes from those who have walked this path before you. Generational gaps can only be bridged by dialogue, understanding, and yes, ethical behavior, by listening to each other with respect and humility. In today's fast evolving world, the temptation may be to discard old values in the rush to adopt new ideas. But as we embrace the future, we must hold on to the ethical principles that have stood the test of time: integrity, honesty, fairness. These principles do not grow old, they only become more relevant as the world becomes more complex. And here again, there is the persona of Palekar sir before us. You instantly recall his inspirational, easy to adopt behavior characteristics: integrity, honesty, fairness. These qualities defined him. I will now touch upon the power of integrity in leadership. Today, the world talks about India's demographic dividend, which is an immense economic booster rocket. Our youth population is a source of energy, innovation, and resilience. But if we are not aligned with the path of integrity and ethics, this dividend could become a liability. The future of any nation lies in its ability to cultivate leaders who are guided by values and not just personal ambition. By and large, the politicians of today, across the world and not just in India, are anything but inspirational. The only common thing between ethics and politics are the last three letters. There are, of course, very honorable exceptions, but these are as rare as black pearls. Integrity in leadership is more than just about personal success. It's about building trust, fostering community, and making decisions that benefit the greater good. Whether you are a student aspiring to become a future leader or a faculty member who's shaping those leaders, integrity is non-negotiable. Without it, no amount of skill, knowledge, or ambition can create a lasting impact. India, with its vast youth population, has the potential to lead the world in innovation, creativity, economic growth, etc., and so forth. But that potential can only be realized if we as a nation choose to align ourselves with ethical values. The demographic dividend that we often celebrate can either be, like I said, a tremendous strength, or if not carefully nurtured, it can fracture into inequality, corruption, and a loss of purpose. The key lies in ensuring that integrity is at the core of everything we do. To quote Stephen Covey, the quality of a leader is reflected in the standards they set for themselves. This is a powerful reminder that ethical actions of a leader always lead to positive outcomes. Ethical leadership is not just about personal gain, it is about the collective progress of society. True leaders inspire through their integrity, their fairness, and their commitment to doing what is right, even when it is difficult. This is the path that Principal Palekar traversed and set the standards for all the people who were in his universe to follow. I'll now touch upon the ripple effect of ethical behavior impacting the world around us. Let me focus on how each of you, students, faculty, and even the larger population, can positively impact the world around you. This starts with something very simple: self-belief, integrity, fairness in our actions, and a commitment to positivity. Every action you take has a ripple effect. A small act of kindness, a decision to be fair, or a choice to stand up for what is right may seem insignificant in the moment, but it has the power to influence others and inspire change. One ethical decision can create a domino effect, leading to a more just and compassionate society. Our ethical behavior contributes not only to our own well-being, but also to the well-being of the entire world. Look at this one small incident. On December 1, 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white man on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama, US. Her courageous act of protest became the spark that ignited the civil rights movement and gave impetus to Martin Luther King. So, each of us has the power to make the world a little better, a little kinder, a little more livable. Each one of you listening in today has the potential to create a positive impact, not just on your immediate environment, but on society at large. The ripple effect of ethical behavior starts small, but it grows and touches countless lives. As students, when you choose to help a classmate who is in need or stand against academic dishonesty, you are not just helping yourselves. You are raising the ethical bar for everyone around you. Faculty members, when you encourage open dialogue, fairness in grading, and a nurturing environment for all, you are contributing to a culture of integrity that will extend far beyond the classroom. It will positively impact the lives of thousands of students in ways you can never imagine. I will now conclude with a small point on the simplicity of ethics. I would like to return to the heart of today's theme. It is easy to be ethical and practice ethical behavior. Now, the easy part of it comes from consistency, self-awareness, and the belief that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. Ethics, when practiced regularly, becomes second nature. It's not about grand gestures or heroic sacrifices. It's about the little everyday decisions that add up to a life of meaning and purpose. Integrity and ethics should be the foundation of your decisions, not exceptions to the rule. It is living a life of simplicity, but not leading an insignificant life. Look at the life and times of the recently deceased late Sri Ratan Tata. He lived simply and behaved ethically, but his life touched so many lives in the most positive way. And the heartfelt outpouring on his passing away from both Rajas and Ranks, they said it all. So students, as you move forward in life, remember that ethics is not a burden. It's a lighthouse which should guide you through the stormy seas you will encounter. It will make your life meaningful and fulfilling. It will help you find the purpose of your life. It will bring peace to your mind and strength to your actions. That is what the life and times of Principal Palekar taught us all. His students, the faculty, and all others who had the good fortune of being associated with him. Like Vishaliji said, starting his association with Podar College as an office assistant, pursuing his BCom and MCom with his own earned money as a working student, joining the college as a faculty and rising to become the principal in 1963. Enhancing the reputation of the college both in academic and non-academic fields by his path-breaking initiatives, actions, and ethical behavior. Continuing his association as a professor in the college even after demitting the office as principal in 1975. And continuing to inspire his students even after full retirement. Truly, he lived an easy, ethical, but very fulfilled, significant life. His caring, humane attitude was exemplified in the very first meeting he had with the current principal, Shobhanaji. She told me this. When she met him, the first thing he asked of her was that she should complete her doctorate. This simple request changed her life journey, and today she occupies the same chair as Palekar sir with the same grace and dignity. Palekar sir very positively impacted my life and the lives of countless other students' life. I owe a deep sense of gratitude to him for my personal growth as an individual. As I mentioned earlier, it is in Podar College, under his leadership, that I discovered myself and discovered so many individuals whose friendship and partnership endures to this day. I once again thank all concerned for this wonderful opportunity. I wish all of you the very best of life and careers. May the ripples you create by your ethical behavior grow bigger and bigger and change the lives of many around you for the better. God bless you all, and God bless all Podarites. Namaste and pranams. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. The different anecdotes and the examples from Palekar sir's life, which you have shared with us, have connected the topic to today's generation and the present times. As the saying goes, charity begins at home. I think ethical behavior starts with oneself. If everyone becomes aware and behaves ethically, it will greatly help the society and our country as a whole. I'm sure the audience will benefit greatly through your lecture. Thank you so much for your, what should I say? I mean, it was really a learning thing for me also.
It is
Thank you so much, sir.
mesmerizing. That is the word,
Yes,
Vishali.
ma'am. Yes,
Great,
it was
sir.
really
It was
mesmerizing.
amazing, and it was very, very truly inspiring, Ram Narayan, sir. I cannot resist that. Until vote of thanks, I just wanted to say that. Vrishali, you can continue.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. The session is open for the question and answer round, or if any of the member of the audience would like to express themselves, the platform is open.
Will you be unmuting them if they raise the
Yes,
hand?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dhananjay,
we
you should be able to have some kind of a contribution.
have sorry.
I thought Dhananjay may have something because he is into this topic. That is the reason.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes, I was just about to mute myself.
Sorry,
The question, first of all, sir, thank you
has
so
raised the
much
hand.
for the
S-
beautiful lecture. And my question will be on the, as you rightly said, that it is open to interpretation, but generally in day-to-day life, the dilemma that a student faces and that is to make a choice sometimes between especially with today's online age, as you said, communicating and what people will think. People generally shy away from say communicating back a negative response, so where there is perhaps a duty to, even if you have to say a no, there is an ethical duty that one must respond at least. So how can one overcome that burden that one feels?
Dhananjay ji, like I said, an ethical choice is always difficult. But for me, it is not a dilemma. Dilemma has no answers. It's a conflict. So, conflicting situations, you have to think deep. Sometimes you have to communicate the truth. It is not that you cannot give a feedback, but you have to give it in such a way that it is understood and it is depersonalized. What happens many times is when we criticize, we tend to criticize the person and not the action. I think we need to have the ability to criticize an action and not the person. So if we depersonalize, and I'm sure there will be greater acceptability of what we think is wrong. I mean, it's a art or a science which comes with practice, and I'm sure that all of us can do that in course of time.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Rao sir, you can unmute yourself and speak, sir.
Yeah, there are other people like
Yes,
I can see some
Mohan
of them.
Rajan. Yeah, Mohan Rajan sir is there and SV Rao sir is there.
Yeah, please.
Sir, you can just unmute yourself and speak.
Can I speak? I'm Mohan Rajan here.
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah, MV Ramnarayan is personally known to me for more than now 4 decades. He has been a most valued mentor to me in so many ways, And I'm a graduate of Podar 85 batch. Okay. My question to Mr. Ramnarayan is, what is your assessment of the current ethical standards in society and in various Indian institutions like governments? And what do you think we need to do to improve the same?
Mohan, I always say that first define your circle of influence. It can be your home, it can be the housing society where you live in, it can be your professional circle. Like I am involved with education SIS, so it can be the SIS, Podar. Now within that circle of influence, you please adhere to the ethical behavior. We cannot change the entire world. It's impossible. You cannot change everything which is wrong in society. You cannot change the way people behave outside, but you can certainly contribute to creating that ripple effect within your circle of influence or your universe. And that will come with your own behavioral standards, like Principal Palekar did, and it will leave some impact. Believe me, it is not something which will overnight change a person, but a constancy of your behavior, your constant adherence to those ethical standards will definitely have that ripple effect which I was talking about in my lecture. So do that. Don't expect that the entire world will change, but increase your area of circle of influence and let the ripple effect grow.
Thank you. It has been it has been an excellent talk by Ramnarayan. I truly appreciate a lot of words of wisdom gained by all of us. Most informative, educative talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. May I request Rao sir, SV Rao sir? He has raised his hand. Sir, can you please unmute yourself?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Ramnarayan. This was an excellent piece of, I won't say lecture because it sounds very, very old-fashioned, but then it was an excellent piece of information, and hats off to you for that. Appreciate a lot. And actually, you transported us back to 50 years from now. And that's been a great journey. And we have all lived, seen, and been with Palekar sir, and we know the values he stood for. And your explanation to each of these values and the anecdotes really put us in top frame. Thank you very much for this. I have no questions. I'm beyond any questions now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Venkatarao.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
He is one of those persons, Vrishali, with whom I connected because of our love for old Hindi film songs.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Passionate about it, we pursue it till today.
Yeah, we continue to do that even now. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone who would like to say anything or ask question or comment or?
Yeah.
Vrishali, I would just like to say that, when we are talking about Hindi film music and this thing, I just wanted to add that it was a little out of place at the lecture time, but I would say that I am guided by Shailendra ji's philosophy. किसी की मुस्कुराहटों में हो निसार, किसी का दर्द मिल सके तो ले उधार, किसी के वास्ते हो तेरे दिल में प्यार, जीना इसी का नाम है. Right. Wonderful. Actually resonates with everybody in India, in Indians across the world, and that's something which we have all tried to live by.
Superb. That's really great, sir. That's amazing. Sir, Nitin sir has raised his hand. Nitin Wazirani sir. Sir, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Ramnaran sir. An amazing, a beautiful session as a teacher for me. I have a very simple question, Ramnaran sir, and I mean, we all as teachers face a lot of dilemma. And when I say dilemma, I'm talking about there are subconscious biasness that has been created, in all these years about individuals, about students, and many a times these subconscious biasness tend to create a behavior and not be seen by the outside world or the people as an ethical or a right behavior. And there's subconscious biasness we all carry. We try to reduce, but they are challenges. Are there any tips or are there any areas where probably from your experience you could suggest that how much or how can an individual reduce the subconscious biasness for a teacher specifically? You mentioned a couple of things, but is there anything else?
Nitinji, there's no easy answer to this.
Correct.
When you say bias by itself it's a slightly negative sentiment. You're biased against somebody. That's how we normally say bias. So a bias by definition is something which is not the right inclination. How do I correct that bias? We all have it. Let me tell you, no human being, if somebody says I am without any bias in life, is not telling the full truth. All of us have it, whether it is a bias against somebody or against a type of food or against a language or against this thing, and all of us go through that. It's very difficult to be what you call as a non-biased person. So if somebody says that I am a non-biased person, it's not right. So but what do we do? How do we reduce its impact in our behavior pattern? For that, I think as a professional with any field, whether it's a chartered accountant or a doctor or a professor or educator, whoever it is, I think we have to recalibrate ourselves every 3 or 4 years. We have to look within. We have to see where we are right, what we are not doing right. We have to unlearn and relearn some of those values and see where our mental compass is, where we are we pointing to true north or where. So it's only introspection and a clear analytical view. Again, depersonalized, very difficult when you have to analyze yourself. It's one of the most difficult tasks in life. But one can do it with discipline, and one can do it and say that, look, these are my shortcomings, these are my biases which I need to remove. And that's how we can get out of that hurdle.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. I think I got the thing that you tried to explain is unlearning and then learning and trying to look at yourself within. Thank you very much, sir. The session has been really an inspiring session for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitin sir. Is there anyone who would like to comment or say anything or just contribute?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think
Yes, sir,
excellent. I've been attending several lectures and several speeches in this series of lectures. Excellent, sir. I think you explained every aspect threadbare, considering all aspects of current standards, how to link past with the present and what we can think of future. Definitely a lot of learning experience for many of students here and also to all of us. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, sir.
Ramnaran sir, you could connect with students, faculty, each and every aspect. It was wonderfully planned by you. Yeah, Vrishali madam.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I think there is someone who has entered as Dell, has raised the hand. Not
Uta
actually.
Subramaniam has praised your talk. Raghavan Iyengar has given all accolades. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll be just sharing the feedback link in a minute in the chat box. I will request all the audience members to kindly fill the feedback form because it will give us an opportunity to improve in the next lecture series. I will now request Vinita ma'am, because we are almost at the end of this thought-provoking program, and I would like to now request Vinita ma'am, Vice Principal and Controller of Examination, Professor Vinita Pimpre madam, for proposal.
Thank you, Vishali ma'am. When we say thank you, it's such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel honored and privileged to get this opportunity to propose the vote of thanks on this special occasion. Thank you all present today, whose contribution and efforts have made this memorable lecture series a truly grand success. First and foremost, I must extend my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished guest speaker, Shri M.V. Ram Narayan, for sharing your valuable insights and expertise with us today. Sir, your knowledge and experiences have provided us with a wealth of information and inspiration. It will help us to grow as teachers and as human beings. We are truly honored to have you for the late Principal G.P. Palekar Memorial Lecture today. My heartfelt thanks are due to our management, S.P. Mandali, Honorable Chairman, Managing Council, Advocate S.K. Jain Sir, Chairperson, CDC, Council Member Sunil Doshi Sir, and our own Principal, Dr. Shobna Vasudevan Madam, for the constant support and motivation provided to us to conduct events on a regular basis in the college and inside the college as well as outside the college. Thank you, ma'am. Special thanks to late Principal G.P. Palekar sir's family members for taking time to join us today. Thank you, ma'am. At the end of this, I would like to take an opportunity to thank my colleagues, our alumnus, and the present students for joining us today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining on this occasion. I wish you all a healthy and happy life. Thank you once again. Thank you, ma'am.
And let us wish happy Diwali to everyone. And the talk has started the festive mood for all of us. We are highly delighted to have you, sir, today. And it was wonderful to begin our Diwali with how we can be ethical and practice ethical behavior. And you have made it so simple. And I think I should thank for it. Yes, Vrishali.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Vinita ma'am.
All of you and all the audience, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, sir, it was exceedingly good. I don't know. I clapped my hands. Did you hear you? I don't know.
Thank you, sir. No, it's all.
We can clap again, ma'am.
Yeah, please let us clap. Put our heads.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy Diwali again to all of you.
Wish you all a very happy Diwali, and also again I'll request.
Digital clapping is arriving you now.
Yes. I will request all the audience members to kindly fill the feedback form, because as I said that it will give us an opportunity to improve more. As we are at the end of the session, I will request everyone to stand for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य